Hey ladies, this is Mocha Mommy here bringing you another video, and in this video I just really want to acknowledge our millennial black women content creators. Okay, I just have to acknowledge you ladies because you ladies really do give us Gen Xers a lesson. It's a lesson because, a lot of times we're like, you need to respect me as an elder, blah, 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 blah. But you ladies really do call us out. You really do call us out because we have to do better at being more straightforward and honest about the world around you and how to better navigate it. We as Gen Xers have to do better. And, because it's not just what we say. A lot of times it's what we don't say. I'm all for moving in silence. I'm all for being strategic. I'm all for not showing your hand. But at the same time, we can really do better with how well we prepare and inform you ladies for the world around you. So, shout out to content creators like Homie Coco and Lady Daydream for content creators. Now, most recently, Locked Honey Princess. Locked Honey Princess, let me tell you, her last live made me realize that there's a lot of things I need to tell you ladies because there's a lot of stuff that you don't know that she's telling you and you think that she is being mean, but the way the world works, she's actually giving you a heads up more than you realize. And you might think her words might be harsh, but wait till you get into this real world to see how harsh they really are out here. And you need to appreciate what it is she's saying. All right? When it comes to, listen, I'm out and about, but I'm just gonna basically give you ladies an example. Okay, a couple of examples, and I have countless examples that I can give to you about the realities of how these networks work. All right, about how a certain echelon of society works and how they treat people. And there is a lot of elitism out here. There's a lot of elitism, and like A Lifestyle by Danielle, that's another millennial content creator. Listen, ain't nobody out here apologizing for it. So, listen, I'm just gonna say it right out. I'm gonna say it right out. Okay. When it comes to sports, right? Let's start with that. Because I don't talk much about my youngest daughter, but she was invited by a teammate to the teammate's birthday party. All right. So at this teammate's birthday party, the party favors were Coach wallet wristlets. And in the Coach wallet wristlets were gift cards. A gift card to a candy store where you those candy stores where you like weigh your candy and all that. A gift card to like one of those little kitschy kind of accessory stores like Claire's where you buy like accessories and lip gloss and scrunchies, all that kind of stuff. And then there was a gift card to Kendra Scott Jewelers. I'll leave a picture of what Kendra Scott, because that's the premier Austin jeweler, right? Kendra Scott. I will leave a picture of her jewelry. It's because Kendra Scott is related to this girl's family. I'm not going to leave this live up too long. But so basically, my daughter gets invited to this party. And then she is told to not tell another teammate who is a friend of my daughter's that she was invited. Now, why are they excluding this teammate? Because they don't like this teammate's mother. They are what the dominant culture calls trash. And so my daughter is like friends with trash, and I use that term loosely, friend with Trash's daughter. And then therefore, because they don't like Trash, they told my daughter to not tell that she was invited because they were excluding Trash and her daughter from the party. So my daughter didn't tell. She has a great time at the party. You know, they have a heated saltwater pool, and it was catered, and it was a nice party. And I listen, I have not had the best relationship with this girl that they call Trash either, with this mom that they call Trash either. I mean, I know that they are in like the skilled trades, they own their own business, but she doesn't really help with it. She doesn't really advocate for his business the way some of the other mothers do for their business, because she drinks a lot. Whenever there's any kind of like function and there's alcohol being served, she will drink. She has been known to bring alcohol to the ballpark, and they don't like her. In fact, Trash's husband had offered to help us with our home renovation because he is in the skilled trades, and offered to do it for us at like a discounted rate. And I turned them down simply because I don't want to be ostracized by the other moms on behalf of Trash. I know they don't like her, and I don't want to be in a position to owe her a favor. And I see how they treat Trash. I see how they treat her. How they'll have like a thread that includes her, that talks about all the games, all the practices, all the stuff like that. And then they have a thread that doesn't. So when all the other moms get together or have meetings or fundraisers or planning sessions, her number's not on it. So they're purposefully excluding her because they don't like her. And as the coach's wife, I know this, but I'm not going to say anything. These ladies are part of a very powerful alumni network. Many of these ladies are pretty exclusive athletes themselves, and I am not going to risk my daughter's future to advocate for Trash. Okay? Sorry, not sorry. This is my kid. And I'm not going to be on their poo-poo list because I decided to be trying to be her friend, or trying to be like, we need to treat her no, I'm not going to say nothing. And I'm going to let these ladies and their powerful alumni network and their powerful connections help my daughter. Sorry, not sorry. Think of me what you will. Because I'm going to tell you something else that I did, okay? That I'm doing. There is a girl who is new to our school. Okay? Her mother is from this area. So they're moving here because, you know, she finally gets her opportunity to move close to her family. Her father, I know who her father is. Her father, at one point in his career, played for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he was a beast. Okay? I know who her father is. So she has not been playing softball for very long, this girl. All right? She's about 14 years old. She's only been playing for about 5 years. She knew how to play in her dad's shadow, especially when they lived out on the East Coast where people knew him. They ended up coming here, retiring to be near his wife's family. His wife is from here. His wife went to college here. His wife was a very elite athlete here, and in Texas, in the state of Texas, for a very prominent Texas school. In fact, one of the records that she held stood up until 3 years ago. So this woman's a pretty prominent athlete. And her daughter, 5 years ago, decided to finally start playing softball. And when she played, she starts to play in another league. She didn't play in our league, even though we're geographically closer to them. Why is she not playing in our league? Why is she not playing? You know, now that she's in high school, she'll be able to play for the school, but why is she not playing in our league, right? Turns out the little girl was afraid of my husband. She said she would see him make his players run and do push-ups and be in the batting cage longer than the other teams, and she thought he was going to be mean. And it turns out that he's not mean. He's a disciplinarian on the field, but overall, my husband's not mean. But he's serious, and he's loud. But so I understood that we are short a center fielder, and this girl is 14, but she's close to 6 feet tall. She's very tall, but she has that baby face, you know what I mean? And she has braces, and she's still like really innocent, and she talks like a little kid, even though she's really tall. You know what I mean? I know that some of you might know girls like that, or maybe you were a girl like that, where you're almost 6 feet tall, but you are still like an innocent girl, and you still like watch like Disney Plus. Like, she's one of those, right? She's still a little girl. So I'm like hanging out with her mom, taking her out to lunch. When I have time off, I pick the girl up from school and I say, it's no problem. We'll go out for bubble tea and it'll be fun. And basically I'm being really nice to this girl and her family because I want this girl to play center field for us. She's a hell of a center fielder. She has an arm on her that is undeniable. She is one of the girls who can run up against the fence and catch a ball that could otherwise be a home run because she has reflexes that fast. She can turn a sacrifice fly into a double play because she can throw it into the infield from no matter what position she's in. She can cover a lot of ground. This girl has game. So because we've lost so many to graduation, I'm going to be nice to this girl and her family in hopes that we can bring them to play for our league. Sorry, not sorry. Also, her mom has connections to a very powerful alumni network. And despite what people tell you, nobody knocks on your door, especially for your female athlete, and be like, we'd like to offer your daughter a scholarship. That's not how it works. I hate to tell you, that's not how it works. You need to know these alumni networks, and when they bring their think of me what you want, but the reality is other parents are doing this. Other parents are doing this for their kids. Other parents are doing this to get their kids into spelling bees, to engineering and robotics clubs, to quick recall teams, to these community service events. Other parents are doing this. And I'm not going to apologize for doing the same damn thing for my kids. Sorry, not sorry. Okay? Because other parents are doing this. And I've been doing this. I've been doing this since the Mocha Mom days. All right? I've been doing this. When my kids were still young and we were doing early reading and early spelling to try to get our kids trained up to do these spelling bees, I was already on this tip, and I've been on this tip for over a decade. I remember when I was with Mocha Moms, right? There's this reading program. It's like an early reading program that's done by an affiliation with a lot of these universities, right? If you can get your kid in to these early reading programs and have them follow it up to middle school, by the time they hit middle school, they're already ahead. All right? They're already reading at such a high level that by the time they hit middle school, they're in all honors classes. Their reading comprehension, their writing skills, all of this. And parents know this. So I signed my two girls up. I've always been waitlisted. So by the time my girls are around second, third grade, my oldest one's around second or third grade, I sign her up and I'm 27th on the waiting list. I tell one of the Mocha Moms, I'm like, hey, I'm waitlisted again for this program, blah, blah, blah. And she says, don't worry, I'll take care of it. The day before the program started, they're telling me, bring your shot records and all of your paperwork filled out to this location because your daughters, both of them, have gotten into the summer reading program. Okay, I was 27th on the waiting list, and I had 2 kids. I circumvented at least 28 other parents to get there. I read the letter, and the footer of the letter the email that I get telling me to show up, it says go Bison. So one of the Mocha moms knew one of the administrators of the program. One of those administrators was a Howard graduate, and then therefore they skipped me on the waiting list. Sorry, not sorry. My kids are in all AP classes, all honors classes, and that reading program set the foundation for them, and I'm not going to apologize for that. And my education and my connections got me there. Sorry, not sorry. But that's the truth. Think of me what you will. Unsubscribe if you will, okay? But this is how the game is played. Everybody else is playing this. Everybody else is. There is also something else, okay? I'll confess that too. I'll confess this too. When it comes to these tournament plays, right, there's usually like a medical tent. And me, and there's another parent, a Black woman as well, an advanced practice nurse as well. She just got her master's degrees. Congratulations to her. She's now an advanced practice pediatric nurse. She also has a Hispanic husband. Her daughter also plays for this team. Our daughters are friends. So we decided to get together and said we're going to treat the equipment manager, who is a stay-at-home mom who volunteers to manage the equipment for the league. We're going to go and treat her to a spa day because she works so hard. That is true. Okay, that's true. She does work very hard for no money. All right, I will give her that. But the bottom line is we also have an ulterior motive. We're going to take this woman out for a spa day, get the manis, get the petties, get the glass of wine at the spa. And we're going to try to get early access to the tournament schedule. And we're trying to get early access to the tournament schedule. And we're also going to try to get her to order certain first aid supplies because she is the one with like the credit card for the league's funds. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to try to staff and supply the medical tent for all of the tournaments in the region that we are going to participate in. Because there are several of the girls on the team have parents who are pediatricians, advanced practice nurses, and RNs. And if we can staff and supply the medical tents for all of the tournaments and give them enough advance notice so that all of these nurses and pediatricians can be off. There's also a family practice position, right? He also will volunteer. If we can give them enough notice so that they know to take the time off to staff that medical tent, that means our kids make the tournament because we're staffing the medical tent. And it's like a courtesy that they'll extend you. Oh, you guys are staffing and supplying the medical tent. So, the portable air conditioners for the heat injuries, to having somebody certified in first aid and CPR, for people who can administer medications to kids who have allergic reactions. We're going to do that so we can get so no matter what place our girls come in, they're going to be guaranteed a spot in the tournament because we're going to staff the tents. Sorry, not sorry. And we're going to rub elbows with, yes, we do lunches. Yes, we do spa. Yes, but we're not quote unquote resting our femininity. Trust me, we have an agenda. We have an agenda. Like that lady I told you about who sells the nails. Yeah, she's doing it as a side hustle. But she also knows what every sports team is playing. So yes, she's doing that to make money, but at the same time, she knows all of these PTA moms, all of these booster club moms, all of these cheerleader moms, all of these gymnastic moms, all of these football moms, so that when her husband ended up getting laid off during the quarantine, before his severance check was even cashed, he already had 2 jobs lined up because she already networked and knows everybody. Listen, everybody else is playing this game, and I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize, okay? I'm not going to apologize. So, yeah, I'm going to play the game too. And on my job, I'm going to share this one last story because, listen, I'm just going to share it. I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? On my job, usually they have like a mixer, like when the new residents come in, right? They'll like have a restaurant. We'll like get like a room in a restaurant, but this restaurant had like an outdoor pavilion because of everything that's going on. And then if there's like a new employee orientation, they'll let them know, like, hey, we have a mixer and there's going to be food and you can show up. It's a cash bar, but you can show up for the food or whatever if you're a new employee, and meet the new residents, new class of residents and fellows that are coming into the hospital system. So now I've already like left the emergency room urgent care side because it was just a lot. I'm now on like the LTAC rehabilitation side, long-term acute care side, like the rehabilitation hospital side. Okay, it's just part-time. It's an easier gig, better hours. But when you're off site like that and you need orders that are above your scope of practice, like advanced radiology, advanced lab, admission orders for somebody who might not be able to stay at the facility, transfer orders, it's good to know the residents. So I go to the resident mixer. I bring my husband with me. And of course, he's a very social person. I'm grateful for that. And he's talking sports with the guys. And, there's several Hispanic residents and physicians there. And they're speaking Spanish. And they're talking about soccer and Formula One and all this stuff like that. And they're having a great time. But then there is this girl. Lord have mercy. Just like La Tiny Princess said, in the Fashion Nova dress or Pretty Little Things, whatever fast fashion shop that came from, with that cheap see-through fabric, honey, we saw all her panties. Honey, we saw the tag from her panties. She looked really trashy. Really trashy. Really trashy. And she's all up in the faces of like, hey, I'm a new, blah, blah, blah. I knew she was some kind of support staff. My mom always told me that I should marry a doctor. Those residents are looking at her like, what? Like, these residents were not checking for this bubble-headed chick who's had her drawers hanging out. Like, they were not. They were not impressed by her at all. They were not at all impressed by this girl and her tangled up hair extensions and her too much makeup. They were not impressed by this girl at all. Believe it or not, the girls that they were most impressed by were the girls who were at my facility, who were like the speech therapy and occupational therapy girls who were on their practicum/clinical rotation. Those were the girls who the guys were talking about. And one of them was in scrubs. She wasn't even dressed up. She had come off of work. Her hair was in like a messy bun. Right? And she was a natural. And she had like one of those like band out scarves around it. She was a natural. And everybody was asking about her accent because she was Trinidadian. That's the girl that they were asking about. Who's that girl with the accent and the scrubs? And when she pulled out her car keys, like that had her lanyard, they saw where she was in school, and they're like, oh, one of the residents is like, oh, I went there for my undergrad, blah, 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 blah. And they're talking back and forth, and then my husband's like, oh, you two should exchange contact information, whatever. Because you're both, Red Raiders, they went to Texas Tech. So you're both Red Raiders, whatever. And they're, talking about Lubbock and all this stuff like that. So yeah, that's the girls that they were interested in. They were not interested in Miss Fashion Nova. And let me tell you what else Miss Fashion Nova panties hanging out. Please, ladies, if you're going to wear those cheap fabrics, and I don't suggest you do, but if you're going to wear those cheap fabrics, please get some good undergarments. Nobody needs to see your panties in your panty line already. So that was the first mistake Miss Fashion Nova made, was assuming that stupid dress was going to get her the right kind of attention with her drawers hanging out. The second mistake she made was when it came to like the emergency department's medical director. His wife was there. Him and his wife was there, and she's like, "Oh, Mrs. Such and Such. Oh, Mrs. Such and Such," and she's like, "What? such and such. Because the chief medical director's wife is a doctor too. As is the head of surgery's wife. As is the chief resident's wife. As if, and if I'm not mistaken, I think like our oncology, like I think I think his wife is a doctor as well. Like most of our medical leadership, their wives are doctors too. Okay? For real. Their wives are doctors too. They're not marrying like freaking clerks. They're not. They're not taking those girls seriously. In fact, a lot of them don't even bother to date them because they don't even want to bother messing up their residency, their fellowships, their letters of recommendation on behalf of some stupid sexual harassment hashtag Me Too. They don't. So they don't even want to bother with a lot of these girls. They really don't. Not on the job. It's like that in military and civilian medicine. A lot of these guys who are serious about their career, who are going somewhere, they're not going to mess it up for some chick with her panties hanging out who's going to Me Too them. They're not going to do it. Especially all those years of school, they're not throwing that away. So listen, I know that Lots Honey Princess told you to your face, like, no, don't come over here. I'm elitist. I don't do this. I don't do that. She put her boundaries out very clear. Let me tell you, Gen X women will not do that. Gen X women are very much like mean girls. They'll smile in your face. They'll tell you they like you and then secretly have a secret thread of other mothers that they like and other wives that they like that won't include you. Like they'll secretly have these like booster club meetings and these behind the back PTA meetings for fundraisers at coffee shops before they get to the school and already have everything planned out before you even get there to purposefully exclude you. They'll have like secret Facebook groups and social media chats that they don't include you in, but they'll be nice to your face. At least these millennial content creators, they tell you straight up. These millennials will tell you how they feel, straight up. You know, Gen Zers, I feel like a lot of you ladies are really nice and you give people the time of day. You give people the time of day to kind of like redeem themselves but millennials, y'all, I think y'all are better than we are because seriously, I'll be nice to Trash's face and then roll my eyes and say something bad about her in Spanish to the other Hispanic moms who were sitting in the bleachers. Why was she sitting there? I've done that. Listen, I'm being honest, okay? Think less of me. Think unsubscribe. And I've got 1,000 stories like this. You know, hopefully I'll coordinate a live because, yeah, Lots Honey Princess is not lying to you ladies. She's not lying. And if you think she's mean, try circulating in these circles. They're nice to your face, but they're not nice people. And I am one of them. I'm one of the mean girls. I'm part of the mean girls clique. Okay? Think what you want about me. I'm part of the mean girls clique, okay? So, do what you feel. Stick with your morals, whatever. But yeah, I'll admit to it. I'm going to own up to it. I'm one of the mean girls. And sorry, not sorry. These are my kids. This is Mocha Mommy, and I'll see you in the next video.